Introducing On the Horizon, a podcast by Horizon Resources Cooperative, supporting farmers and ranchers across northwest North Dakota and northeast Montana. Join host Levi Hall as he engages with agronomy experts, grain traders, and community leaders, sharing insights to help you make confident, informed decisions for your operations. From market trends to practical advice, we bring you the conversations that matter.
Horizon Resources, solutions for your success.
Welcome back to On the Horizon. This week, we have Retail Division Manager Chad Ellis back in the studio, and we talk a little bit about the cards that everybody got a notice about and the point of sale switch coming to the Horizon Resources retail stores. When I told my wife that we were recording this podcast, she said, "Didn't you already talk about this?" And then still had some questions for me about how these cards are going to work and what the process will be. So we are bringing Chad back on the podcast, and we are going to talk a little bit about the changes you can expect to see at our retail stores, and bring in the good news about when to expect the point of sale switch at the store you frequent most. Enjoy the show.
In 2024, Horizon Resource members earned over $21.5 million in patronage, 10.3% on feed, 12.4% on retail, 12.7% on agronomy, 10.9% on energy, 45 cents per bushel on durum, $2.25 per hundredweight on canola. When you're a member, every purchase pays you back.
Horizon Resources, solutions for your success.
Welcome back to another episode of On the Horizon. This week, we have Chad Ellis, Retail Division Manager for Horizon Resources. Welcome back to the show, Chad.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So in the last billing statement, well, maybe it was 2 billing statements ago, but recently our members have gotten a notice that we are changing our point of sale system. Our listeners of the show have heard us talk about this, but we're going to talk a little bit more about it and just give people a little bit of an update. Recently here, we went through the transition in Fairview, Montana. So now we have 2 stores on the new point of sale system. Talk a little bit about how those rollovers went and how things are going at those 2 stores.
Yeah, rollover went smooth. Start with Malta just because you brought that into the picture too. We started with there just because the customer base isn't as deep there. So the card situation at the time wasn't a big issue, and, figuring that out. So we were able to make that work and kind of fine tune stuff before we rolled into Fairview, and the install went smooth. We figured everything out right away, and it's going great. So I'll just dive right in. So the cards you're currently using, the ones that we made, all that data that's on that is going to work at the new point of sale.
So I've had a Card Troll card for 5 years, ever since moving up here. That card still works.
Yes.
Okay.
But if you want more, we can issue some more. So that's not an issue.
And so I will need that not only at the Card Troll pumps to activate the pumps and bring them on, although I won't need my PIN out there anymore.
Correct. The PIN has gone away. With this new point of sale, it just doesn't ask for it, doesn't require it. So I'd highly, highly recommend to treat it like a credit card. If you lose it, contact our accounting office. I think Nikki Roberts is heading up that side of making new cards. So if you do lose one, treat it like a credit card. Call in, let them know. They'll cancel it, give you a new one, just like you would with a credit card.
I'm glad that you brought up Nikki's involvement with the cards, because we have changed. We made one big investment. We bought a printer for these cards. So no longer will we have to take your information, send it off to a third party. They print the cards and mail them back to us. And then we call you and say your cards are in. This is something now that in a matter of minutes, you can have 25 cards if you want. You can print one card and leave it in each of your vehicles if you want, whatever. But that is now, we have that capability in-house. So that's a huge step forward. I'm excited about that. The other thing that we talked about a little bit is in-store purchases. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's say I want to go in and buy gas cans or pizza or whatever, but I want to make sure I get my patronage. How does that process work?
Yeah. So if you do want to charge it still, literally treat it as a credit card. When the clerks ring up everything, they'll hit the card button. You swipe your card, boom, goes right to your charge account or your patronage account. You sign it on the pin pad. If you want to be descriptive, it helps our accounting people I know for oil field companies, especially because they like to manage and make sure they know who's charging their accounts. So if you could print your name legibly, for those accounts, that'd be great. The farmers that don't really care, and just scribble, but like, hi, mom, or whatever, that's fine. But whatever can help them out on their side of things. But yeah, they can do that still, just like they would at the pumps. They just swipe it, don't have to enter a PIN, they sign their name. And then for people that like to just pay cash, they don't like that bank statement, so to speak, or the statement at the end of the month, they can just, the clerks can push this customer ID button that will allow them to swipe their card, and then they can pay cash, credit card, check, whatever it may be. So they can still apply that to their account. Right now, it's not showing it on the receipt end of things, but I talked to another co-op out in Montana, and they said they're able to see it through our main back office system on their statements, so they can see that they are getting, that patronage.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's great. So what's changing? Not much. That's the big thing. If you have one card, that's all you're going to need. You're only going to need one card. You're not going to need one for in the store and one at the pumps. This is something where, the one card is going to be able to do it all.
Right. And that one card, it has your account number. So let's say it's Levi Hall, your account. Let's say Colton's old enough to charge on it.
Right.
And Laura, you can have data ranges too. So you can have 1001, that's you, 1002, Laura, 1003, Colton. So when you swipe that, whose card, who's using it. There's going to be a lot of people that want to use that feature to track who's using it, obviously. And others, they just don't care.
So when I go up there and I swipe my card, and now you guys are able to pull that up, and I sign just the same as I used to, right? It's still on that same tablet style. The big difference is going to be we can electronically pull signatures, which we were not able to do. For some reason, our old system would not capture that signature. Now we're able to electronically capture that signature. Talk a little bit more about that point of sale process.
Yeah, the old system was you're using your finger, to write on that PosiFlex little deal. That's gone away. It's just like your typical Verifone pin pad, like you would for a credit card. You just sign your name. And that's how that's done.
Sure.
The only downfall of the new system we realized is it's only got 7 days for us going back to, dispute something. Beyond that, there's nothing we can do. That's kind of a stinky feature, but another thing when you're talking about the card readers is in Fairview, when people were there that didn't have a card, we were turning the pump on for them. We had a master list. We were kind of going through of their main customers that were highlighted. And we had Nikki actually making the cards while they were fueling up. So when they came in, hey, here's your new card. Use this, please.
Right.
You want more right now? We can issue more. When you come back another time, whatever. But so at that time, we were giving them like 1 or 2 cards. They were swiping it, kind of going through the process right then and there. So next time it was a breeze. So that was pretty slick. And we'll probably do that at the other locations when we roll into them.
Yep.
So
it's going to be great. I know Nikki really enjoyed getting out and going to one of the locations. And so you'll see Nikki if you haven't gotten a chance to meet her. She's one of the back office people that we talk about quite a bit. And Nikki does a fantastic job for us, working with our members, being part of the team, and trying to help you guys be successful. And these new cards are going to be a fantastic feature. And like I said, I just can't say how much I am excited about the ability to print our own cards in-house.
Right. No, it's huge. And honestly, half the people in Fairview didn't have cards. They're like, I don't want one, I got enough credit cards. I don't need another one, but now they're like, oh, this is actually pretty slick.
Right.
And there's going to be no confusion. You just keep your card on you. We're not going to have the mistake of a clerk accidentally putting in John Doe versus John Bow, whatever, They mess up sometimes the tills. So this will alleviate all those issues too. So the dispute should be eliminated as well.
Absolutely. Well, Chad, I think the main takeaways from this one are: 1, nothing is changing from your account. I know I had heard rumors that it was a way for us to avoid paying patronage. It's actually the other way. We're trying to make sure that everyone gets the proper patronage accreditation. You will only need one card, and that'll work at the pumps or in the store to help get you your credit. And if you want to pay, you just swipe that card first and then pay.
Right. And I know we were talking about having like a card-based and face-based, potentially 2. That might be eliminated to just 1.
Yeah.
So I was talking to that co-op and they said, no, I think you can just use that same card. And just when you click that certain button on the till, it knows that, okay, this guy's paying cash or whatever.
Right.
So we're still kind of working out a few little kinks, but ultimately Fairview's running pretty seamlessly.
Yeah.
The employees love it there. So it's a faster system and yeah.
So do we have a go live date for Williston and for Ray? Those are the 2 big busy stores. What's our go live dates?
I'd say June, hopefully for Williston. I know besides these tills, we're putting in a whole new inventory system too. So those people are busy. So it's just aligning every party involved so it works. I'm hoping June for sure for Williston, and then maybe Ray right after that, depending on their schedule. I mean, we're pretty flexible on our end, so we just got to make everybody sync up and make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, Chad, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. If people have more questions, how do they get a hold of you, or do they call the store managers or talk to them? What's the best course?
I'd recommend they can talk to me because we've had people come into the energy office in Williston and say, who do we talk to? How are these going to work? It's like, just call the main store, option 2, and then just ask for Chad.
Yeah.
Perfect. And the managers, they know Melissa's pretty savvy on it too. She's got a pretty good idea, but yeah, just have them call me.
Absolutely. So 572-2171 option 2, ask for Chad if you have any more questions, or you can call 572-2171 option 3. That's the accounting office.
Yep.
Pam, Kendra, Nikki are all very well versed on what's going on as well. Cool. Well, thanks again, Chad.
Yeah. Glad to be here.
Thank you for tuning in to On the Horizon. If our conversation today sparked your interest, make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Stay connected by following @Horizon Resources Co-op on Facebook and Instagram, and explore the world of agriculture with us. We're excited to continue bringing you real conversations with Horizon Resources industry partners, member owners, and employees, discovering more about your local neighbors and community friends. Until next time, keep looking towards the horizon.
Horizon Resources, solutions for your success.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not to be used or considered as an offer or a solicitation to buy or sell commodities. Horizon Resources does not make any representation, warranty, or guarantee as to the completeness, accuracy, timeliness, or suitability of any information contained within any part of this podcast. Horizon Resources does not accept any liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use or reliance on such information. Whilst the information provided has been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, Horizon Resources does not attest to its accuracy or completeness. Horizon Resources reserves the right to change any source without restriction or notice. The information herein is indicative only and is subject to change.